Hello, howdy, and welcome back to the channel. Shadow24 here, and we are about to get started with challenge number 4 for our Houston Outlaws Content Creator Contest. Now, what they told us to do was to take this wonderful Outlaws bag that we were given by the team, by HEB, and there's a couple of items in here that we're supposed to take out and kind of describe to you, and I thought, why not take that one step further and try and show you guys what these items could be. Now, in this video, since I do already know what items are inside of the bag, we're going to give it a little bit of a twist, and my sister has sent me 3 recipes that I have never cooked before. I'm going to be taking these items, incorporating these items into those recipes, and then I will be serving 3 of my friends and having them judge how well these items went into the dish, how well it looks, and how well it tastes. So first things first, we're going to start off with our granola mixture. We're going to be taking our sweet and salty pretzel and honey bars from HEB, and we're going to separate the yogurt sections on the bottom from the granola pretzel peanutty goodness on top. I've cut these into smaller portions so they're a little bit easier to work with. And once you've gotten those separated, you're going to break down the granola bits by either doing it with your hand or taking a knife and chopping them up into little itty-bitty portions. Remembering to keep your yogurt bits separated. Those are going to get used later. Once you have all the granola done, though, you are going to be preparing your spice mixture. You can use a lot of what you prefer, but I prefer cayenne pepper. So we're going to put 2 teaspoons of that cayenne pepper in there, followed by cinnamon, which is going to be another 2 teaspoons. And then last but not least, we're going to put in 1 teaspoon of chili powder just to give it a little bit of kick. Now you're going to want to add a little bit of salt to balance things out because we will be adding a lot of sugar to this to make sure that everything gets nice and caramelized in the oven. So you're going to add 3/4 of a cup of sugar into your mixture. Next, you're going to grab your egg. We just want the egg white, so make sure that you separate the yolk from the egg white. You can use the shells for this, or if you don't mind getting messy, just go ahead and use your hands. Just make sure that none of the yolk gets into the mixture. And then we're going to whisk it until, once again, it gets to that, we want it to get to that frothy texture, a little bit bubbly, and just runny enough that we're going to be able to cover all of our granolas with that. So we're going to put our granolas in here. If you want to add almonds or pecans or peanuts, I highly recommend getting something else into the mix. So we are going to use some HEB dry roasted peanuts. They've got a little bit of pre-seasoning, but that's just going to add to the flavor at the end. Go ahead and mix that all into your gooey goodness until it's completely coated. They will begin to clump together, so make sure not to let this sit for too long, or you're just going to get one clump of candied nuts there. Our next step is going to be to spread this mixture onto a sheet pan. You're going to want to coat this pan in some sort of non-grease, non-stick spray or some butter or something of the sort, and then you're just going to pop it into the oven at 300 degrees for 20 minutes, and voila. Now it's time for me to show you guys how to make a King Ranch casserole, and for this one we are going to be incorporating our chunky salsa, as well as our Texas-shaped tortilla chips from HEB, of course. Enjoy. Now to get this started, we're going to take our leftover chicken. If you don't have leftover chicken, you can do what I've done and pick up a rotisserie chicken from HEB. Make sure you pull all the bones out and cut it up into small pieces. You're going to take 1 medium to large onion, do the same thing. You're going to dice this up. Please be careful not to cut yourself. You're going to make sure that those onion pieces are nice and small, unless you're a fan of chunky onion pieces, which I've found most people are not. So make sure that those are nice and tiny. Throw those into a separate bowl, not into the same bowl as your chicken, because we're going to be cooking those on the stove just a little bit. And then you're going to take 1 green bell pepper. You can throw in other colors of bell pepper if you want to make it a little bit more colorful. But green bell pepper is my preferred way to go. Add that into your onions, and we're going to be taking that on over to the stove. Put some oil in a pan, and you're just going to saute your onions and bell peppers until they're soft and the onions have browned just a little bit. And once you've been able to accomplish that, you're going to go ahead and hop on over to your chicken, dump those veggies in there, and we're going to be adding the rest of our ingredients. You're going to need 1 large can of cream of chicken soup. Just open that up and just be liberal with it. Just dump it on in there. And then you're going to take diced tomatoes, or in our case, our chunky salsa, and throw it in there as well. And you can be pretty liberal about how much tomatoes, bell peppers, onions you really want to put into the mix. It's all a matter of preference. Once everything's goopy, nice and mixed up, you're gonna take a baking sheet and you're gonna line the bottom with tortillas traditionally, but we're gonna be working with our Texas-shaped tortilla chips, which sadly we are gonna have to press down to make a nice base for our King Ranch casserole. And then you're gonna go ahead and just dump all of that chicken goodness in on top of those tortilla chips. And you wanna make sure that you're layering it out so you at least get one full layer out to the sides. And then you're gonna do a layer of cheese. You can put as much cheese into the middle of this as you want. The cheesier, the better, I always say. But then you're gonna take the rest of your mixture, pour it out on top, spread that out, and make sure that it's nice and covered. If you wanna do one more topping of cheese and tortillas, that's what I like to do, and that's what we've done here. But then you're gonna stick it into the oven at 375 for 30 minutes. So the ice cream may have not come out exactly as we planned. We don't think that we shook it long enough and had enough ice in the bag, but you'll see what that looks like here at the end. Now it's time for us to introduce our judging panel.
My name is Jonathan Turner. Cheerio. I was head chef for the Prime Minister for 15 years in London. I just got off the plane. I'm here in Texas today to try some delicacies, some hors d'oeuvres. It's an event for the Outlaws, and I will be critiquing everything we're trying here today.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
And I'm Ben.
And we're here to judge challenge number 4, sponsored by HEB.
HEB?
Yeah.
This isn't right.
Whew. Like I was saying, we're here to judge Houston Outlaws challenge number 4, sponsored by HEB. If you were at the Houston homestand last year, you might have recognized us. We were losing our voices, cheering our heads off.
And you might have wondered what our superpowers are. Well, my partner and I are super tasters, and this is what qualifies us to judge this challenge. We're super tasters on a mission for flavor.
Alright, your first dish is going to be an appetizer, which is a spiced nut and granola mixture, as well as with some yogurty bits in there.
Okay. I like the look of it. It's quite charming. We used to serve things like this in London.
It already feels luxurious. Oh yeah. Oh
We
yeah.
have to save some for tuna, right?
Looks beautiful. Let me try. How does it taste? It's got a kick. It's got cinnamon. Lots of cinnamon.
I'm getting slight heat.
Yes. The
Which is
heat is just
unexpected,
like,
but
you know, it's
good.
like, it's like you turn the burner on like super low about midway through the bite. And it's like, oh yeah.
So I'm getting strong hints of cinnamon and vanilla. So I'm gonna have to deduct some points for being too much cinnamon. Too much cinnamon.
I taste slight cinnamon,
Mm-hmm. The spices are
and it's nice the combination between the two pieces.
sweet and salty, like a
And
little bit of heat.
I don't like spicy food. I feel like this is the perfect amount of heat
Yeah, yeah.
because I'm not in pain, but it's there.
Man, I don't know. It's like you don't want to bust out the 10 right away.
All right, what's your final number?
My number, I mean, honestly, like for a pre-dinner snack presentation, it's really pretty. It looks shiny. It looks very appetizing, and yet the taste that you get from this is just totally way more complex than you ever would have thought from, you know, something as simple as just like a trail mix bar. So I'm sitting at a 10, to be honest.
10 out of 10.
I am personally, yeah.
I would say I would give it an 8 out of 10, just because I want some cream and some ice cream with it.
After a full scale of the whole thing, 8 out of 10.
Our second item of the day is our King Ranch casserole. And the integrated items in this dish are going to be the medium chunky salsa, and the Texas-shaped tortilla chips, which actually make up the layering on the bottom, as well as the crumble on top.
Thank you. Look at that. Okay. Let me show you guys here. Look at that. That's Texas. That's where I am right now. Now, do you have chips that look like London? Let's dive into this, shall we?
Chicken.
I'm gonna get a little slice of this little part of the edge here. That's my favorite. Maybe I'll use a knife too. Make sure to get enough of a good bite here. That's pretty ripe.
Cool. It's a little hard to break apart, but I think that's just the crusty cheese. Lots of people really appreciate that. So let's see. Okay, I'm tasting chicken. You can taste the chicken, the cheese.
I think you should. That's pretty ripe. The medium salsa, it is present, right? Like the classic flavor of the medium salsa.
And that's the one you normally buy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, always that one.
Yeah.
This would pair well with a margarita. That's what it would pair well with. Do we have any margaritas?
No!
Oh, that's a shame.
It reminds me of like Minas.
Yeah, it is. It's certainly
The
very
tortilla
comforting and very
Yeah.
very warm. Super good. I feel like there's green chili element in this, maybe?
Bell peppers.
Bell pepper.
Bell peppers. See, that's what I meant.
Of course. You want
It's
more
really
bites?
good.
So in my HB bag, I brought a trick. My bag of tricks because I'm an HB fan and I'm a vegetarian. I come prepared. This is the best item that they have at HEB, and I just have to promote it. It's the rosemary crackers. If they ever stop selling them, I think I'll have a nice artful tier, but it's great for any cheese board. With
Any
Gouda, we're just eating it. So rosemary crackers I had to bring because I love them.
They're great.
Okay.
So yeah, that was delicious. That one I think I'm gonna go with 8 out of 10 on that. You know, the flavor of the medium salsa was there, and it was the classic taste of the Texas shaped tortilla chips. Pretty right, man.
Yeah, I would say probably a 9 out of 10 for me. The flavors were very comforting, reminding me of Migas. And being Austinites, obviously we're all about those breakfast tacos.
Yes, ma'am.
The chicken, astounding. The cheese, perfectly melted. And the chip, just beautiful. But it wasn't of London, so 9 out of 10. Just kidding. But 9 out of 10.
So, for our next item, what was supposed to be ice cream ended up turning into a big chip milkshake. So it's almost ice cream, but we just didn't have enough time to get it to freeze.
And either way,
This is right up my alley, I'll have to say.
you
Yeah,
should do the
step
honors.
aside.
Yeah, you're right.
He's a salty boy, I'm all about the sweets, so
He's a salty boy.
I'll go first.
Going for the
Going
spoon.
for the big chip.
Going for the chip. That's pretty great.
Presentation, quite nice. Love the glass. Love the straw. the cookies are quite good.
I really liked it. I'm actually generally not a fan of cookie dough and things like ice cream, but actual cookies, I've just found out I'm a fan.
This one has legs. This might be my favorite thing from the evening.
I'm getting distracted. I'm giving feedback because I just want to eat the whole thing. I love cookies and cream. I love cookie dough. HEB makes an ice cream that has both of these rolled together.
No, it's super innovative, and I love what you did with this. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a 9 out of 10 for me, only just because I don't think I could love it as much as you love it because you love cookie dough and cookies.
It's very good. 10 out of 10, 100%.
I have to give it a 9 only just because the what's it called, the trail mix was just that blew my mind.
Yeah.
I've made up my mind. I love it. 10 out of 10. I would serve this to the Prime Minister themselves.
Well guys, that's going to do it for our video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you give it a thumbs up and share it around. If you'd like to know any of these recipes, they will be in the comments below. Besides that, thank you to the Houston Outlaws and HEB for making this video possible. Stay safe, don't be toxic, and have a wonderful day. Oh, hi! I see you're still here. Glad you made it to the end of the video and beyond. There was one final ingredient in that bag that we weren't actually able to use in any of our cooking, but it's so great for after the fact when the party's done and it's time for you to clean up. And that is our orange ginger antibiotic dish soap from HEB. Honestly, this apartment would be a mess without it. Have a good one. You can leave now. Okay, seriously? Get out of my apartment.